What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is in an interesting place. However, I think that there are things that could be done to allow for this game to receive a better reception. I'll share some of this with you. I'll let the good old trailer, the one that showed us that this game was really going to be a shooter, I'm going to let that one play in the background so that those who told me then that I was crazy for saying that this game was going to be received very poorly, you can see for yourself the same things that I saw that kind of maybe clued me into that. Now, one of the things that the developers can do as they've taken this game back, and if the game is going to get maybe, say, another year of development or whatever, is to add a melee emphasis to this game. This is going to, in a sense, allow for the Suicide Squad members to be distinct in the way that they play. I do, however, believe that they have distinctions built into them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're all the same. That's a very, in my opinion anyways, surface level analysis. And I've seen a lot of people make this same mistake. You actually can design 4 characters that are shooters that will have, particular aspects to them. But one of my audience members said that Suicide Squad should have probably been a character shooter rather than a third-person shooter. That being said, what we're talking about is something like Overwatch. Not a big Overwatch player, many of you may not be, but Overwatch leans into the fact that each character is different, so those characters will play very differently. In Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, we don't necessarily see much of that. And so that melee emphasis will bring in some of the Arkham-esque style, of things, and also kind of make each player stand out, or each particular character stand out overall. Because that, in my opinion, will probably answer the concern of everybody just running around and shooting, or everybody having like different ways of going through things. It's really interesting overall, because people are still going to interpret things the way that they possibly could. But I think that's probably going to provide a little bit more cushion for people to, kind of digest what it is that they're seeing. Another thing, too, is the direction of the story right now. So if you think about the entire premise of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, right? One thing that you can kind of be certain about is no one really knows how this story is going to end. And the game being a live service game kind of makes it somewhat unlikely that they're going to probably take a very interesting, radical direction. But I think that's exactly what they need to take. They need to go ahead and use Flash to reset this particular universe so that they can probably come out and align things with, say, Rocksteady's original set of visions that I think could have been received much better. What I mean by that is, I don't think Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was the original game that Rocksteady wanted to work on. Whatever game they wanted to work on possibly was kind of taken away from them, because the Suicide Squad game was originally canceled at Warner Brothers Montreal. It was quietly canceled in 2016 or so, and somehow Rocksteady gets a Suicide Squad project. So to me, it seems like whatever Rocksteady was working on after Arkham Knight got, in a sense, shelved. The heads and the people up there said, hey, put it on the back burner and, make this game and make a live service version of it. So I strongly believe that if they're able to use Flash to reset the universe, it's going to signal that there's a future to emphasize superhero games that are single player and, in a sense, can appeal to the fans, and possibly it will kind of soften the ground for people to kind of take in what this game really is about overall. Because at the end of the day, you really cannot necessarily expect fans to come. It's a culture shock, if you get what I mean. Fans don't necessarily do too well, with that, especially when there seems to be an established line or established product line from a specific, developer or a specific, publisher in that segment anyways. So I think that's probably something that can help. And then finally, I think if they make the game free to play, like I said in one of my other videos, it's probably going to help. You see, when I made that video, a lot of people said to me that you are crazy. There's no way they can make this game free to play. But ladies and gentlemen, I think what Warner Brothers is probably trying to do, and this is my own opinion, I don't know if this is exactly what they're doing, so it's just what I think, okay? So I don't want anybody going crazy. Is they're probably trying to take this game away take away a lot of the focus from this game. Because right now, Hogwarts Legacy is doing very well. Mortal Kombat 12 is going to come out this year, and I think they want to have a good year on the books. If this game is not going to provide a stellar year for them, then it makes sense from a business perspective that they move this to, say, another, calendar year in terms of release. At that point, if they really want to go ahead and make or salvage, I would say, reputation of what's going on, they possibly need to go ahead and make the game free to play so that way it can bring in the crowd. Everybody jumps in. They can now start to monetize the game from there onward. A $70 experience in this new generation, and that is for console players. I keep telling console players, go to PC. The games are cheaper there. But yeah, you know, I can understand everybody wants to play wherever they want to play, and some people don't want to play on, you know, the PC. Some people say that, you know, they don't want to spend the money or, you know, whatever it is. I recommend that you don't upgrade your console, by the way. Buy a PC for the next generation. I'm telling you. Anyways, that's just my own opinion. I'm just throwing it out there. But, you know, you think about it, it's a huge proposition right now in today's world to say to someone, hey, man, why not spend $70 and come into an ecosystem that I want to monetize over and over again? And they basically jump on it. I think right now there has been an emphasis from studios that have just stuck with their art to continue to make solid games and make them as best as they possibly can. Elden Ring really reshaped the entire gaming scene. You look at the way Street Fighter 6 is looking. I played that beta. That game is clean as heck. You look at the prize pool. You look at other titles that are, you know, probably coming soon, like the Spider-Man games. These games for gamers are possibly going to be worth that $70, and they're going to be a one-and-done deal. God of War Ragnarok, one-and-done deal. And with the competition, you know, bringing forward a lot of these single-player games all together in the same year, even Warner Brothers having benefited from the Hogwarts Legacy game, which is a single-player game, it may not necessarily be the time for you to start asking somebody for $70 for a live service game. I think the timing is very important. And I think that's probably why they're waiting for it. Now, they're going to make it free to play? I don't think so. I doubt it. You never know, though. But it seems like that's possibly the direction that they're going. Because if they make it free to play and the game does not necessarily churn out the monies that they expect for it to churn out, they could always tell their, you know, their accountants and their lawyers to, you know, tell the, you know, tell the IRS that, hey man, this was a bad deal or whatever it is. But if the game were to do well, then they reap all the benefits. So I think already the risk that was taken to go ahead and develop a game like this needs to be seen through, because some people are already talking within the communities now that this game faces the likely Batgirl treatment, the Batgirl movie treatment, which I don't know, man. That's a huge and a tall order, because the studio has been on payroll for this game for a long time. I think they're going to release this game. I don't think that's a likelihood that's going to happen. But I think these things, if they actually, you know, are able to implement them in the time being, are really going to open the door for this game to have a better reception so far. But hey, these are just my opinions, and I'd like to hear yours in the comment section. Maybe it could work. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.